Hey there YouTube, Chaos Cube here. Man, I have to say first off, I really was not feeling super enthused about making this video, but this big cube order basically brought my enthusiasm level from about a 0 to about a 30 or so. I'm pretty tired and worn out and all that, but then that showed up at the door. That is the giant Lightake unboxing that I promised the other day. 250 some cubes. About $600 and some. This should strongly supplement my cube collection. If you can see here, I'm down in my bedroom right now, which is stuffed. I need to get all these shelves up in my office and some other stuff, a lot of stuff in the works. Whew, I'm not feeling like making any videos, but this is exciting. That's a lot of cubes. So anyway, biggest Lightake unboxing that I'll probably have in a little while. Pardon any sort of tired seeming stuff. Probably just gonna dump it all in the bed, describe some stuff as I go, and I'll let you know what's here. We'll have to see what other kinds of reviews I want to do singly on these cubes, but let's just get these out of the box. Okay, so hopefully my battery lasts here on my camera. Not sure how much battery I've left. I think this battery's kind of low, and the other one's kind of low, whatever. I'll deal with it when I come to it. Let's open the first box. This is a 2-box unboxing. That's just how much stuff there was. I lifted this in here. I don't know if there's an official weight on there, but if I had to say that maybe as much as 80 pounds, maybe as little as 50 pounds, it's very heavy. Let's just say that. There are going to be a lot of cubes in here. It'll be interesting to see exactly what I got, because I don't remember exactly. Just a lot of different variety. A huge amount of cubes. I got 125 3x3s for a mosaic. A couple different mosaics and things. And just a lot of other variety. Should be a lot of different cubes. It's not all the same stuff. Unlike some other joke unboxings I've seen before. Some other cubers on the platform. As you can see, that's a sneak peek. Let's just pan over to the bed here and start pulling stuff out of there. Let's start pulling them out. I'll probably go through them a little bit more thoroughly afterwards. Here's what I'll do. I'll take them all out and then I'll take them out of the boxes. So I guess that looks like a Chi something or other. It has little weird textured things in there. I forget exactly what that one's called. A lot of these are just going to be MF3s, which are for that mosaic I was talking about. I have 125 of those. So I'll push those more down towards the end. I have a couple YJ Cat Cube 2x2s. Those are always pretty cool. I have one of those already, so I bought a few more. More MF3s. These are the Cuban Classroom series from MoU. Just a standard MF3, not the MF3RS or anything. Got them for $1 each. Just going to make a big mosaic. Here's a 2x2 Shangzhou mirror blocks. That's super cool. More MF3s. Let's see here, a Queedy by Chi must be 2x2. A Cyclone Boys sculpted 2x2. Cyclone Boys 3x3. Cyclone Boys standard 2x2. A MF3, another one. There's gonna be a bunch of those. More MF3s. Here's a set. This must be the Cuban Classroom set. I bought a couple of those, the Chi version and the Cuban Classroom version. I have a gear cube here, so that's pretty cool. It'll be interesting to go through on the website and figure out what I ordered here and if they actually threw in anything extra or anything else. You just never know. Going through these, this is a Shangzhou Rainbow 2x2. MF3. There's a pillowed Yushin. Let's see here. That's another 2x2 of some sort. YJ Guanpo it looked like there. Got a glance of it. That looks pretty funky, whatever's in there. Another 3x3, 2x2x3 must be. Morphix, or Master Morphix I should say, Land Void Cube. Another pillowed 3x3 of some sort. Have some other stuff here. Here's what it's going to be. I'm just going to pull them all out of here. Then I'll take them out and show them off a little bit. That's how it's going to be. Let's just fast forward that. Not a master of these unboxings yet. I'm sure I'll get better and better as time goes on. This one in particular is a very unwieldy one. I don't want it to be like 3 hours long or something like that. I'd rather it be more like a 20-minute video. So we'll see. Let me know in the comments, anybody who's actually watching this, because I know I won't get a lot of views on this to start with. But let me know what you want to see in the future, and I can definitely start working on that. What types of videos, what kind of formats, all that. Got a ton of cubes here. This is going to basically be a major jumpstart in my cube collection. This cube collection has now exploded to the point of being a big cube collection again. It started as a big cube collection. It kind of got a little bit smaller, and now it's going to be a big cube collection again. bunch of shelves that I bought. I need to figure out where to put them, but those will go up, and then I can fit all these on there. Have some mosaic shelves and some other stuff. Working in a bit of a limited space area, so it's kind of funny that I bought all these, but I'm gonna have a lot of fun solving and just in general collecting these. So you get a Rubik's Speed Cube from the Paris competition, so I'm excited about that. Not exactly, it's not really like a limited edition, I guess, but it is sort of. Got an early release one. And I have a couple interesting things here. So I'm going through this. Just fast forward the rest of this. Okay, so here's the deal. I just cut filming there. There is the whole pile. Basically, I'm going to sort them by 3x3s and 2x2s and various things. Just try to go through them in a fairly organized manner, kind of lightning round type thing. This entire box, large box, is filled with MF3 cubes. Quantity 60 pieces is probably accurate on there. So basically, that's just a lot of 3x3s to use for that one cube mosaic, or a variety of cube mosaics, depending on what I want to do there. So that's what all those are. That's what a bunch of these are. I'll take one or two of those out of the box to try them out. Let's just set up a tripod. I'll sort those out, and then I'll do some first turns and things on a bunch of these cubes. Let's get into that. Okay, well, on second thought here, this is feeling pretty crazy trying to sort these out into irrational things. I think I'm just going to go through these one by one, figure out exactly what I got here. I have younger siblings. They like snake cubes, so I got these 3 snake cubes here in the box. Apparently, there's a bunch of different things you can make with them. So it's like a what do you call it, book with all these patterns along with it. So that's pretty cool. Next up here, this is one of these MF3s. Let's just pull one of these out of here quick. Made by Moyu in the Cuban Classroom series. I'm just gonna try to sit on the bed here somewhere. Sit maybe right there and try this out. See how that works. I have a weird angle here, but let's try something like that maybe. Step back a little bit. Okay, MF3 Cuban Classroom series by Moyu. This one here feels very tight and dry out of the box, but I think it would be a pretty nice cube if you broke it in and all that. It feels very light, very inexpensive. It's nothing like the MF3 RS, the newer version. Obviously that one's far better than this old version. But basically I bought a bunch of these to make a few different versions of like a cubing. What do they call those things? Cubing. It's totally escaping me right now. Anyway, I'm going to make some of those. I can do relays, I can do a few other things with a bunch of cubes like that. I just bought a bunch of them. Mosaics. What I'm looking for. Tired. Anyway, MF3s. I got 125 of those. Those would be good to play around with and do stuff with that. This looks like a Cyclone Boys of some sort. Seems to be the standard, the 56mm. Had a bunch of these in the past. I had like one of those big boxes, like 6 of them. This one here seems to be one of those, the Feiwu or whatever their one is. That's 56mm. Standard Cyclone Boys 3x3 Speed Cube. Say Shangzhou Ling Long 46mm. I probably should have got one of these in white because I already have one in the black plastic. As usual, even out of the box, these do not disappoint. Ling Long 46mm 3x3s are one of my favorite, if not my favorite, mini 3x3. Really into that. Like the mini Oolong and everything is pretty good, but I just like the Ling Long. It feels stable, feels nice, all that. Not sure exactly which one this is here, but this is some sort of 3x3. I can't read it, but anyway, some sort of 3x3. Definitely feels kind of interesting here. Sure if I get a clue from the mechanism. Not sure. Miscellaneous 3x3. Just gonna have to keep running through these, try to grab as many as I can. YJ Guanlong Plus, I believe this one is here. Want to try out the Guanlong Plus. I had the original Guanlong, just really wasn't a big fan of it. This one definitely feels light and cheap, but it does not have a lot of the characteristics of the original Guanlong, which is like really bad corner cutting and a few other things. It's supposed to be improved in that respect. And from what I can tell, it definitely feels a lot different. An interesting kind of vintage one here. This is actually a Ghost Hand glow-in-the-dark 3x3. I think I picked this up for only $3 or something. I had to pick it up. I'm a big fan of vintage 3x3s, and they're hard to come by. This one obviously doesn't turn super great. It has a mechanism very reminiscent, actually exactly the same as an old school Rubik's Cube. But it's a glow-in-the-dark, it's a ghost hand. I'll probably keep that one in the box, unlike most of these, and stick that on a shelf somewhere. Because that is somewhat vintage, even if they do still make them today, I guess, in China somewhere. Next up here, looks like a Z Cube with the carbon fiber stickers. I meant to try the magnetic one, but I guess this is just a standard Z Cube. Not sure. Wow, it actually turns fairly well. I'm actually pretty impressed with that. Curious to know what kind of mechanism is in there. If I've heard correctly, I know the MF3RSs are what they use in their magnetic cubes, so I wouldn't be surprised if this one's something similar, maybe MF3S or something. That one actually feels really good. I'm very surprised about that. The Yushin Pillowed 3x3 in stickerless, actually smaller than I expected it would be. It seems like they cut it down to make it pillowed rather than extend it up. Turns very well, and it's just interesting to have a pillowed 3x3. So, want to try that out. Let's see here. A bunch of MF3s I have to dig through and make sure I don't pick another one of those out. This one here is not a 3x3, so this is one of the first shape mods of a 3x3. Fischer Cube, I believe is what this is called. Yes, it is. It's not a Windmill Cube. It's a Fischer Cube by Chi. I'm a big fan of Windmill and Fischer Cubes. Haven't had one in a little while. Sold mine off. Finally got another one. Finally got a bunch more of all these ones here. So that's pretty cool. This one here is a heart-shaped cube. I forget if it's by YJ or Yushin or one of those there. Actually, turning on that is very surprisingly good. But just one of those shape mods. I wanted to try a bunch of different shape mods and things, so there's one of them there. Man, it's just gonna be digging back in here and seeing what I have until my battery runs on my camera, I'd assume, because the battery is going to run out eventually. This is a Cyclone Boys pack of 2 cubes in a blister pack. Probably not going to be able to get that open. It's just a 40mm and a 57mm Cyclone Boys in there. I'll eventually try. So let's get that packaging open. Actually, there you go. I just ripped it. Able to rip it open. Just a mini, and actually that thing turns horribly. So I wonder, yes it is, that is like the old school, it's like the YJ foot cube mechanism, and I'm sure a few other ones there. It's just the no screw, kind of snap together pieces mechanism on that mini cube, so pretty horrible. And then we'll see what the speed cube here is supposed to have. That's more of a bonus with this whole package. Let's see exactly. And that one's just standard. I don't think it's a Fei Wu. It seems something a little bit different. But either way, it's a Cyclone Boys. It seems like an old school Cyclone Boys speed cube maybe. I don't know the exact model of that one, but it actually turns pretty well. I'm impressed on that. Next up here, let's see exactly which one this is. This is a by Cube Style. What is Cube Style, I wonder, because that's the other 3x3 I couldn't figure out. It's an Nexus Cube, nonetheless. This is a, what do you call it? Stickerless Nexus Cube. Or Axle Cube, or whatever you call it. I actually like the design of this one better than the other one I had. It doesn't seem quite as pointy. Some of them have really long points that come out, at least the one I had last time did. Never figured out how to solve this one. It'll be fun to figure out how to solve now. So I guess that's what it is. Stickerless. Pretty cool. No clue what brand this is here. Probably Lan or something similar. But this is a Gear Cube. That's another interesting cube I have never tried before. It'll be fun to figure out how it works and try it out. Turning seems fair. And let's see if I turn it one full rotation. Obviously that's not solved, so I just gotta put it back how it was there. There it is. Gear Cube. Battery is flashing. Battery is almost out. This is a Diane 42mm Zanchi. I actually did not know I got this one, so I wonder. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay. Yep, I remember. I got a Diane Zanchi Mini in stickerless with the black shades. I thought that was kind of interesting, kind of nostalgic or vintage appeal. Center cap flying right off. There you go. That's also vintage and nostalgic, right? So anyway, that's more for the collection than anything else. It seems like it's on loose tensions because the center caps are coming off. I mean, that's hitting the screws in some cases. In that case, it seems to be true. This is a Hishu. More of a cylinder cube here, but it's more of an octagonal barrel cube. Straight from the factory. That's how they sell it. That's kind of cool. Should solve like a normal 3x3, but seems to have stickers. Kind of reminiscent of the early Shangzhous, actually. Let's see, not sure what kind of mechanism it has in there. It assumes standard Rubik's. Seems to turn fairly okay. Again, reminiscent of the very early Shangzhous. Same sort of stickers on there. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's that same type. Kind of matte, strangely textured stickers. Next up here, a Z brand Concave Cube, which a lot of these, like, I don't know, the ones that are just in the bags here are kind of like the generic-y brand ones. So Z is one of those, and I'm sure they vary. I've heard that a lot of people are seeing a lot of people on YouTube had these, so I want to try one out. Whew, that turns pretty badly. Has a really interesting kind of Diane clone mechanism there. Original Guhong, I don't know exactly what mechanism that's off of. No torpedoes, but it's a very Diane-esque mechanism. Next up here, some sort of free stress ball they threw in free. I don't know exactly what's up with that. It's a Chi right here. Seems like a Warrior W. And now I have like 6 Warrior Ws. Wow. Turns nice still. Very dry out of the box. A lot of these need to be broken in. And when they're broken in, they're going to feel a lot different. Nice. Use a Concave Cube there. This thing feels different now. Okay, another MF3. Another MF3. This right here is a Cyclone Boys 4x4, it looks like. That'll be interesting to try out. It actually seems smaller. A lot of the 4x4s I've used. That's smaller than a standard 3x3? It is. That's kind of strange. So that is a 57mm 4x4 or 58mm 4x4, somewhere in there. And actually, I'm very impressed with how that turns. It'll be interesting to see if you get catching or lockups or anything there, but as far as I'm concerned, that seems to turn very well. Actually very impressed with that. I didn't expect it to be that good. I've had really bad 4x4s mostly, and then I've had a couple good 4x4s. That one there seems to turn pretty well. I can't say it would be a fast speed cubing one, but it sounds like an interesting mini one. Chi Warrior W. You can see a lot of repetition here. I did order multiples of a bunch of different cubes. This one here has something loose inside, but it seems to be the Limbs Cube. It's called Deformed Centrosphere. This is a really interesting one. I saw on various cubers' channels, and I just had to have it, so I decided to order one. Basically, this is a 3x3 inside a 2x2 and stickerless. That is a really interesting cube. Very interesting puzzle. I'm not sure exactly how hard it is to solve or anything. It doesn't seem too difficult. It seems like a 3x3 solve. I just like the look of it. Wanted to try that out. Next up here, I have the the Moyu Cubing Classroom 4-cube set, 2x2, 3x3, 4x4, 5x5. I'm curious to try the 5x5 and the 4x4 to see how good those are out of the Cubing Classroom series. I'm very satisfied with both the 2x2, the newer 2x2, and obviously the MF3 RS. So I'm interested to see exactly how well these other ones do. Not sure which 3x3 this is here. Actually, you know what? That seems like the MF3 RS, so that's nice. Yes, it is. They were able to put an MF3 RS in the set. That is very admirable. I did order some more MF3 RSs, but that's good. The 5x5 definitely feels a bit slow and dry right now, but all in all, is that also a little bit smaller than a standard one? Or it seems about standard size 5x5, but seems pretty nice. I don't know. Let's try some corner cutting here briefly. Yeah. No, it seems fairly good. I'm actually impressed with that as well. Not as good as a Yushin or anything, but obviously it's a budget 5x5. 2x2, already have one of these. Those are pretty good. I have 2 of them actually. 4x4, 4x4 is not the best. Not horrible. Need some internal catching there. But it's not quite up to par with anything obviously like a Yushin or some of the nicer 4x4s in the market. They're also at a budget price, but I am very impressed with the MF3 RS, as a lot of people have noted, as a really good cube. Rubik's Speed Cube. That is really cool that I was able to get one of these early on. I'm going to try and keep the box on this one, if I can pull it open carefully. But this is one of the early release, or newly released, I should probably say, Rubik's Speed Cubes, made as a collaboration between GAN Puzzle, or GANs, and Rubik's. Wow, I like that. I like the turning of that one right off the bat. It's very gummy. A lot of these puzzles come very dry out of the box. They come a little bit different. This one obviously comes at a premium price tag. I think I paid $13 for this, which is a pretty good deal. But it has the plastic tiles. It's a Rubik's brand, so it has a bit of history there for a collector. And all in all, it seems to be a fairly good puzzle. It'll cut 45 out of the box. I'm not sure it's going to be my main, but I do like the feeling out of the box. It's really good for mid-level speed cubers, I'd say. Anybody down to like 20 seconds, that'd be very sufficient for. Next up here, a Cube Twist. This is a Square 1 box, but I don't think this is a Square 1. No, it's not. This is a Super Cube of some sort. Seems to have a very inexpensive mechanism in there. Can't tell. Some sort of cheaper version of a Shangzhou mechanism, it seems to be. But it was pretty cool. Just to add to the collection, have a couple of these YJ cat cubes. I'll probably keep one of them in the box for right now. But here's just one of them. I already have one of these, but I bought a couple more just because they're cool, they're expensive, and just like those. Those are kind of neat. Next up here, a Moyu or this may be, let's see exactly what this one is. 50mm mini 3x3 cube. This must be in the Cuban classroom line as well. Not sure what the mechanism in this is. It doesn't feel quite as bad as the MF3, but it must be like the MF3S mechanism. 50mm mini cube from the Cuban classroom series. Next up here, a 2x2 YJ Guanpo in white plastic. I did get some white plastic cubes. First off, right out of the box, not feeling very good. I'll have to see how that one breaks in. Turns feel pretty good, but on a couple layers there, especially when I'm trying to turn it, it feels really catchy and really bad. It might just be straight out of the box. Could be the issue there. Next up here, this is a Shangzhou Jammin cube. This one has a very interesting pattern on it, and actually I like the turning on that, but basically it's a very shiny and textured pattern on there, which gives it an interesting thing. It seems to be a cap over the whole piece, and the mechanism on there, I don't want to pull a piece out of there too hard, seems to be one of the more modern Shangzhou things. If this is even a Shangzhou, I think it is a Shangzhou. Actually seems to turn pretty well. Quarter cuts, like line to line, pretty easy. Interesting with the textured plastic and all that. I guess I got 3 of these YJ cat cubes. I really went overboard on those. Here is a, let's see, I'm not sure, Moyu again, so MF3. It's a dice cube. This does use the mechanism of the MF3, I can tell right away. MF3 mechanism is not very impressive, but it is kind of cool for the dice patterns on there. It's not actually a dice cube, it's just the stickers on there, or should I say they're probably like laser engraved on there, painted on there, whatever that mechanism would be. Have a bunch of Shangzhou mirror cubes. This is one of them right here. This is a white with gold stickers on it, and actually right out of the box turns very well, nice and greasy from the factory as usual. Shangzhou had plenty of these before, so I can vouch for the quality of those. High quality, not the fastest thing in the world. I have some speed mirror cubes in there somewhere too. Shangzhou Linglong 46mm, another one of those. This one here is another unknown brand cube. I'm not sure what the brand on this one is here. Same as the other one though, so whatever that is. I'm sure I got 2 of them. They must have had something interesting. Actually, this one turns a lot better than the other one. So I'm not exactly sure what this one is, but it's interesting, that's for sure. Yep, not sure. Just put it over the other one there. This is some sort of shape mod. Looks like the YJ Elephant Cube. So I got the pink one here. It seems to have... Okay, so I have to speed up here a little bit, or at least just keep going at a fluid pace, and however that works, however it works. YJ Elephant Cube, I showed this one off. Battery's very flashing low battery because I was using it before, so... maybe cut short, guess we'll see. I have another battery thrown around somewhere. I haven't been filming enough videos lately, so I'm not super caught up with that. YJ Translucent 4x4, and actually that turns to the middle layers. Middle layers are a little bit sluggier. Outer layers seem to turn pretty well on that. I just wanted to kind of complete my YJ Translucent Cube collection. There's the 4x4 version of that. I have the 2x2 in here somewhere too. This is a MF3 Cuban Classroom Series Master Morphix, which actually has learned how to solve this cube this morning, so that would be really nice to have one. A little bit more speed-oriented problem. Okay, so battery's almost on this one, so it's going to be a to be continued, but I'll do some stuff here. I'll charge up a battery in between that. So anyway, until it runs out, if you didn't see it here, if it cut out, I got this Master Morphix Moyu Cuban Classroom. Let's go for this one here. This is Ghost Cube Ninja. I'm not sure what brand this is made by exactly, but it's basically just a Ghost Cube. Okay, well, hopefully that solves our battery issues, at least for a while there. I got some snakes unboxed there. I got a bunch of other stuff unboxed. That is around 123 of the Moyu MF3s. Little sister's helping open all those up under the tripod. And then these are the ones that have yet to be unboxed and looked at. If I try to rack it through those, these are all the ones that have been unboxed, starting with the 3x3s from there. Mini 3x3s, various 3x3 things, a 2x2, 4x4s. Definitely a lot smaller. This little Cyclone Boys 4x4 is pretty cool. And let's just put the camera back in the tripod and get back into unboxing these. Still trying to keep this under maybe 30 minutes. It's going to be a long one. That's the boxes so far. Whew, it's a lot. Crazy. Okay, so let's just get back into these. I unboxed that Ghost Cube before. Actually, my framing's way off. I didn't even check that. Man, I am tired, slash just not quite with it right now. So anyway, Ghost Cube. I forget what brand this is. It's the cheapest one you can buy. It's not going to turn well, but I don't think it's conserving me. I don't think I'll ever be able to sell this Ghost Cube. I might try it sometime, but it's just confusing to me how it all works. I just barely figured out how to sell Master Morphix and Windmill Cubes and all that. So more for the collection than anything else. Whatever brand the cheapest Ghost Cube is, there it is. I was pretty excited to know that you can get them fairly cheap, because they used to be super expensive. Next up here, a Chi-Yi, or Chi-Yi, I keep pronouncing it like that. It's Chi-Yi, I'd assume. 2x2. One actually seems to turn pretty well. Let's see, next up here, looks like a Megaminx of some sort. No, that's what this thing is. It's the, I forget what brand makes these exactly, but it's the 2x2 of the Master Morphix, the Pure Morphix. Haven't ever sold one of those before, had one before, and now I have another. Next up here, another Chi-Yi Warrior W. I'll be unboxing a couple of those. I really like the Warrior W, and now I have like 10 of them, so they better like them. One turns very well right out of the box. I definitely really like the Warrior W. It's nice and light feeling. It just seems like a quality cube. I like how they package that in the plastic and everything else here. This is a YJ translucent Guanpo. I'm not sure which 2x2 this is by YJ. Lingpo, that's what it is. Moyu Lingpo, translucent, 2x2. Just kind of complete this 2x2 collection. I liked how they packaged that though. It seemed high quality. YJ Yi Lang. So I guess this is the, I don't know, it's another Fischer Cube. Turns very, very well compared to any Fischer Cubes I've had. I've had another YJ one, the old school YJ. This one seems pretty nice. So I'm going to open this one next here. I have an assistant helping me. YJ Tiger Cube. This one has a little bit of tape on top. Cut through that with my really sharp fingers, right? Yep, there you go. And let's pull this one out of here. This is a very, very large 2x2 shape modification in the shape of a tiger. So that's really cool for the collection more so than anything. But basically, it's just a Yushin. And actually, it turns very well. I'm actually pretty impressed by the turning of that puzzle. And very detailed for what it is. I have the panda version and the tiger version. I guess that's being handed off screen. And then one left here, we have the Yushin Panda Cube, which is equally as cool. It's a 2x2, very large shape modification. Should be neat for collection, and I'm sure the kids will have some fun playing around with this one. The cat cubes are one thing, the elephant cubes are one thing. These Yushin ones are pretty cool though, because they are large, they turn a little bit better, and they're very detailed. So, pretty neat, had to pick those up. There they are. Okay, next up here we have a YJ Windmill Cube is what they call it, but I guess it's a Windmill Cube. And I guess this is the one that does not have the color scheme on it, so that's actually really cool. It's kind of like the Mirror Cube, Mirror Blocks, but it's a Windmill Cube. That's actually really neat. Hand me stuff, Lizzie. Good. Next up here, a Ghost Cube, 2x2 Ghost Cube. Oh, these are really cool right here. Actually, the color looks a little bit different than I thought it would from the photos. This one I probably have a chance of solving though, actually. This is made by Lim, so I guess the same who makes the Lim Cube thing there. And then I guess I have an MF7S. Bought a couple 7x7s. I want to get back into 7x7. I haven't had a 7x7 in a long time. I had a Shangzhou mini 7x7, and that was back when that was, I think the first Moyu 7x7s were just coming out when I got a 7x7 a long time ago. Is that 7x7 enough? Anyway, this is a Moyu Cubing Classroom 7x7 MS7S. Very small. Feels small in the hand at least. Anyway, turns very smoothly on the outside layers. The center layers obviously are a bit small for my fingers, but when I fit them in there, definitely feel a bit stiffer than the outside layers, but still turn fairly well. I think after some break-in and all that, that'll actually be a very good one. Hopefully some of the other ones are a little bit bigger though. That one feels pretty small to me. I'm just going to open the other 7x7s here. I have a Chi-Yi Wuji 7x7. I've heard this one's really good. So I guess I get to try that one out. See how good it is for myself. I have large hands and these small layers on these ones are really not doing it for me. Wow, that one feels really good actually. It feels sort of very reminiscent. Probably like the Yushin 5x5 out of the box, straight out of the box. Dry, just nice feeling. Very swooshy. I don't know the exact terms for it, but this one feels very good. Definitely a lot faster than the MS7S. MS7S definitely has more lube in it compared to this one. Basically, I have an 11x11, a bunch of 5x5s, and that's it. So, it's be pretty nice. So there you go. That is the Chi Wuji. Go on to the next one here. This looks like a Super Cube modification or sticker scheme of some sort. Interestingly enough, this one is marked See if I can get it to focus there. So it's actually marked Rubik's Cube. You think that would be trademarked, but I guess not. Apparently by whatever brand this is here, they were able to stick Rubik's Cube on there somehow. Which I'm sure China have less trademarks. So it's a super cube with slashes through the faces. That's a pretty cool sticker modification. I like that one, how it comes straight out of the box like that. You don't have to buy your own stickers or anything like that. Next up here, a 2x2 Shangzhou Rainbow 2x2, I believe. Turns fairly well, actually. This should be a large 3x3, if I'm not mistaken. Seems to be a Shangzhou box, so I'd assume it's a Shangzhou. Nice if I could figure that out for sure. I don't read Chinese, and I'm not going to learn it anytime soon, but I'm assuming this is a big sale. 7 centimeter. Wow, I like the size of that one. It's too big, actually. Too big for fast speed solving for me, but I'm assuming I can probably get like 4 seconds slower than my standard times on this one. This is going to be an enjoyable solve. I wish they'd make cubes in 65 millimeter. I think would probably be the perfect size. This one actually feels a little bit too big, though. I think it's 7 centimeter or 70 millimeter. So, pretty cool. I like the larger size 3x3s. Those are finally coming to fruition. Those are finally coming out. I mean, I can solve a Rubik's 13 centimeter light cube almost as easily as a normal cube. So, anything larger than the 57 millimeter, the new 55.5 standard is way too small for me. Okay, well, I like the turning of that. That's a Qi 2x2x3. I know I got a cheap Lan in there somewhere. This one turns a lot better and feels solid compared to that. I didn't open this one before, or I didn't show it on camera before. This is a Yushin Fire. I'm not exactly a big fan of that one. It feels fairly cheap, but it turns well. It's a good budget cube, nonetheless. 2x2 mirror blocks. This is another cube that was not out when I stopped collecting cubes, and now it is out, and I'm very excited for it. I like the large size. I really like the 2x2 mirror cubes. Those are really cool, so I'm sure I bought a couple of those in here. This one here is another Fischer Cube of some sort. I did check. Cube Style again. I don't know what Cube Style brand is. I don't remember if that's the brand or if there's something else to it. It's actually being a bit of a trouble to get open. In plastic though, and stickerless. Seems to be a fairly nice looking cube. First turns. Definitely not like super speed cubable, but it seems to be fairly good. I think there's some flash in the pieces that's preventing it, causing some catching and stuff. Without that on there, I think this will actually turn pretty well. Seems to be a pretty nice cube. So, it's an interesting one. I have to learn how to do orientation and things on these. Seems to have an interesting color scheme too. Have to check the exactities of it here. Green. Yeah, seems to be correct, except that red is replaced by pink. Next up here, we have a 2x2 Master Morphix, but a pillowed one this time. I'm not sure this is by, but it seems to be Shangzhou or something similar. That actually turns really well. I like the look of that one, how it kind of matches with the other Shangzhou. The 3x3 version of that, so that's actually really nice. Next up here, I have the Lan version, or the Z Cube version. I don't remember what brand it was under when I bought it. Probably Z Cube, actually, now that I think about it. 2x2x3. Actually not horrible construction compared to some things I felt by them, but obviously not quite as good as the Qi. Next up here, we have either a floppy or a super floppy cube by X Cube. Let's see if it's a super floppy. It is a super floppy, so that's actually pretty nice. And yep, super floppy cube. I like super floppy cubes. This one is nice. Not quite as nice as the other one I have that I just got in my last lot, which I forget which one that was, as a Lan with modified stickers, but it seems to be a fairly nice one. Cyclone Boys 2x2 and turns very well. Next up here we have, this is kind of cool, YJ Apple Cube. It's actually in a little bubble. You're getting too crazy. Has an extra stem actually in case the stem breaks off of there, so that's pretty cool. It's a 3x3 shape mod and turns okay. Not super great. I'm sure the pieces have certain things. Next up here we have a Cyclone Boys. I believe this is a 30 millimeter 3x3. I didn't know they actually made one of these until I saw it. The Cyclone Boys mini cube. I've seen it a 42 millimeter. This may be a 40 millimeter, but either way, turns very well. I was impressed by the turning of the last one, and there's another good one. Next up here, this is a Qi Speed mirror blocks, which I'm curious to see if it has corner cutting or anything. It might just be a non-speed one. It has very minor flooring cuts, so it will go a little bit faster than a Shangzhou. But all in all, not the best thing ever. I think the Yushin one is going to be more exciting as far as mirror blocks goes for speed solving. This one here, I'm not exactly sure what brand this one is. This may be a Yushin mirror blocks, or maybe something similar. Definitely turns a lot different than that last one I was trying, so it's definitely not one of those. This may be the Yushin mirror blocks. It's really hard to get a piece out of there, so I don't think I'm going to be able to check. Definitely goes a lot faster. And let's see about corner cutting. Corner cutting is definitely line to line on all faces. Not sure which one that is exactly. Next up here, this seems to be a speed mirror cube. This is by Moyu, Cuban Classroom Series. So it has flooring cuts and all that. It definitely seems to be a little bit slow out of the box, but all in all, seems to turn pretty well. Okay, next up here, I have a actual barrel cube. This is basically a 3x3 shape modification. Turns very poorly, as expected. Kind of interesting. It's more like a cheese wheel cube or something similar because it has a different color scheme than standard. It seems like it'll turn okay, but it doesn't have screws. It just has the standard thing there. It's a 3x3 shape modification. Next up here, we have a little keychain cube. I thought this was by Yushin, so I'm curious to see. Yeah, that actually turns really well. So it must be a Yushin keychain cube or something similar. It's odd that it didn't come in a box. Next up here, we have a Windmill Cube by YJ, Yongjun, Feng Hulan Magic Cube. So I guess that is a Windmill Cube, Speed Windmill Cube, and also feels a little bit sluggy. I think it's based on the MF3R, or no, I should say the MF3, the steroid MF3. So it doesn't turn super well, but it turns okay. Next up here, Cube Twist. Seems to be another, what do you call it, sticker modification. Let's see which one this is. It's a Maze Cube. It's actually a little bit better constructed than a lot of the Maze Cubes you find on the market, which would be the cheaper ones. Still going to be very difficult to solve, and I'm not sure if it's even solvable. It's interesting. I think you just connect to all the stuff. Next up here, we have a Kungfu, which I was really impressed by the Kungfu King Fen 4x4, so I want to try out the 2x2. I don't think I got the 3x3 in here, I really should have, but Kungfu brand is interesting because their cubes seem to be very high quality at a very affordable price. This is the 2x2 and definitely seems to be really good. Kind of sharp on the edges there, could definitely use a sanding. That's pretty general of Chi and some other brands that felt like that. Next up here, Diancheng Blade Cube. This thing is big, bulky, and weird. I'm not sure exactly how it even solves. I've seen a lot of videos, and I guess I now own one. This is a Diancheng Blade. Shape shifts. It goes all kinds of crazy directions. It's big and crazy. A lot of people have it. Neat. Next up here, this is a Cube New Style. I don't know exactly what that is, by Gumeng Toys. Not sure why I picked this one up. Is it a Concave Cube, or is it just a normal cube? It's a Concave Cube. Okay, so this is another Concave Cube, a different version than the Z brand one that I had before. Not sure how it feels in relation to that, but it's interesting. I think this one, it turns better, but it may have the same exact mechanism. Let's just try to pull a piece out of there. Yep, exact same mechanism. It's the kind of Diane ripoff or Diane copy mechanism. Next up here, I have another super floppy cube by X Cube. Same exact thing as the other one. Pretty similar. Okay, final battery change. Went shopping, came back. Time to finish up the cubes. There's a big box, or a big garbage bag full of boxes, I should say. And there's that big pile of cubes. Let's finish it up. Okay, and by popular demand, I guess we're opening the Very Puzzle Tutminx. I hope to get all the different Very Puzzles at some point in the future. If you've seen QB Time's videos, he has all of them. Some are really crazy. Apparently this is a 32-sided puzzle, I believe. It's nice that it comes stickered. First turns, actually, it turns fairly well. I was thinking this is going to need more breaking in than it would, but it feels fairly good. It's basically just a face turning. There's two different types of faces. One that's sort of like a Megaminx, and then there's a larger one. So I guess they're basically the same type of face, just one's larger and one's smaller. They make huge ones. They make some, I forget what it's called, the Void Truncated Dodecahedron, or some crazy name like that. It's actually longer than that. Anyway, there's the first one, first Very Puzzle I've ever bought. Soon, I'll get some more of those. But anyway, that's the first one. This is the Tutminx, I believe. Yes, it is. Okay, next up after that, this is a Yushin 4x4. Jake, shut up. It's a Yushin 4x4, the Yushin Lion. So it actually seems to turn pretty well. For just their budget 4x4, it turns just a little bit less well than their standard 4x4. Not quite as good as like the King Fen or something else, King Feng by Kungfu. But seems to turn fairly well. Middle layers turn well too. Normal size 4x4. Next up here, this is a, looks also like a Yushin. Yes, it's a Yushin 5x5. Same one as I have right now, and like I was saying before, I actually solved the, let's see, which one was it? The Chi-Yi 7x7 already, and that definitely does turn very similar to this cube right here, Yushin 5x5. That's a classic, it's a good one. Next up here, we have a Chi-Yi Quidi S 2x2, so with the cool kind of matte stickerless plastic, so that's very nice. It actually feels very sturdy, and also the turns feel very sturdy as well. Just feels like a really good cube. All in all, it's basically companion to like the Warrior W line of cubes. This is another Yushin. This is, damn, can you be quiet? It's like a Yushin Blue or a Yushin Lion. I forget exactly which one this is, but this is one of the Yushin 3x3s. It's not the standard. I don't think it's a fire. It doesn't feel like a fire, so it must be a new Yushin that I haven't tried before. Feels pretty good. Next up here seems to be a Megaminx. It's another Yushin Megaminx. I have one of these already, and actually this one turns better than the one I have, so that's actually really good. Another Yushin Megaminx. Up here, next here is, I believe this is it's another Shangzhou 7cm. Shangzhou, whatever their modern one is, the Legend. Shangzhou Legend 7cm cube. Another larger one. I said I like the larger ones. It would be nice if it was a 65, but this will actually turn really well for larger hands and all that. It's not quite as fast or as corner cuttery as standard cubes. Let's get to stop pulling out of the boxes here before I go. Say Chi-Yi Master Morphix. I really like the matte plastic on this one again. Actually turns very smoothly. I also like the larger size compared to like a Shangzhou. That's very nice. That's a nice one there. Okay, 2x2 Yushin. I'm not sure if this is the Yushin Blue or the Yushin Standard. Either way, it feels very good straight out of the box. Really had nothing but good words for Yushin Cubes. The Yushin Fire wasn't exactly my favorite, but other than that, they're all pretty good. Next up, we have a MF3 Cuban Classroom Series Cube from MoYu. Seems a little bit smaller than a standard cube to me, but that might just be me. So, not sure exactly, but Sam, can you be quiet? Okay, seriously, I'm trying to film and you can hear everything. Anyway, Cuban Classroom Cube, pretty nice. Next up here, Chi-Yuan, something like that. This is a Chi-Yi, Chi-Yuan S, I'd assume. Also has the matte plastic. I really do like the matte plastic, as I've said multiple times, on the Chi-Yi cubes. The 4x4 in the series feels better than the budget Yushin, so I do like that one. It's not my favorite. The Kang Fang is still my favorite from Kungfu. Next up here, this is a Chi-Yi sail. I'm not sure if this is a big sail or a normal sail. It seems like a normal sail. Must be the new sail, whichever one that is. Feels very smooth, actually. Corner cuts under 45, just under 45. Reverse cuts, not very much, but that's a Chi-Yi sail. This one here is really interesting. This is a Gem Cube by MF3. Cuban Classroom Series. Been seeing a lot of different Cuban Classroom Series variations, so I'm very glad about that. This one's pretty cool with the plastic tiles on there. It's kind of an interesting variation, how textured it is. Next up here, we have a Mirror Cube from Chi-Yi. This one is with the gunmetal or blue wire brush stickers. It's actually really solid feeling. I like the feeling of that one. Anyway, it turns very well, very solidly. Very nice cube, actually. I like the wire drawing blue, I guess is the color they called that one. Just turns very well. Next up here, this looks like a Speed Mirror Cube, but I'm not exactly sure who it's by. No, never mind. This is a Windmill Cube with the wire drawing blue or wire drawing wet red. I mean, the things mixed up here, but anyway, this is a Windmill Cube, Speed Windmill. It has the quarter cutting spots. This one also feels very solid and very substantial. Next up, I'm not sure what brand this is here. This is another Pillow 3x3. This must have been a fairly cheap one. Not going to be as good as the Yushin, I assume, but I guess we'll see here in just a minute. Yes, there you go. So another Pillow 3x3. I'm not sure what type of mechanism this one uses. Again, it's some sort of Diane clone. Turns fairly well, actually, compared to some other ones here. Okay, next up, this is an Ivy Cube. I forget who makes this here. This is made by Mofang, otherwise known as Chi-Yi. Ivy Cube. They say it right on there. So anyways, it's some sort of quarter turning puzzle. I want to get into more of these, kind of like the Dino Cube, different cube variations, and all that. So I went for the Ivy Cube. Got to see exactly how this one turns. I forget exactly. Yep, there you go. Should be a very simple solve. Turns very well, actually, right out of the box. Well lubricated and all that. Pretty interesting. Next up here, Cube Twist, Magic Cube. I'm not exactly sure which one this is here. Yes, this is a mirror blocks. There you go. Wow, this one does not turn very well. No, this is the Equilateral 3x3. That's what this one is. So if I remember correctly, this has a couple different variations here. Is it that these two sides are not different, and then these two, top and bottom, are different? That must be what it is. So it's just top and bottom are different. Everything else is identical. I guess you could tell by doing a checkerboard pattern. Which, there you go. It's just the top and bottom are different, and everything else. So it does not turn very well. It's very sluggish. I forget exactly what type of mechanisms it is. I felt it before, though. It's an old school mechanism. A bit sluggish. Maybe some lube would fix that. It's interesting, though, with an equilateral thing. I want to try that out. Okay, next up here, another Guanlong Improved. I already unboxed one of these. Turns a lot better than the original Guanlong. Still feels fairly cheap. Better than the original Guanlong, which I really didn't like. This is cool. I was actually ending up on this one before we went shopping. This is the Legend of Ravaging Dynasties by Yushin. It has such a dramatic name, but basically this is just a Yushin light cube. Very similar to like the Rubik's light cube, but I know it's not quite as bright, and it's definitely a lot smaller. Let's see if I can open this carefully here without ripping the box too much. It seems to be a sliding design out the bottom. Figure I'd just pull up the bottom here, but it seems to be having some issues. Guess let's rip the box. What it takes sometimes, I guess. Anyway, it's interesting. It's 88 centimeter, or 88 millimeter, I should say, light up cube. So a bit smaller than the Rubik's, which is 130 millimeters. And it really is. Wow, that actually turns really well. I'm very, very impressed, actually. 45-degree corner cutting on a light cube. Wow. Okay, well, actually, I really like the little patterns on there and all that. It's very unique, and apparently it lights up, glows in the dark. That is really impressive, actually, especially for like $10 that I paid for that. As you can see, it's lighting up right there. Turn off the light. It is glowing pretty bright. It's actually almost as bright as the Rubik's one, so I'm actually pretty impressed. I'm really impressed with the corner cutting on that. That's really interesting. It must use the same Yushin mechanism. Anyway, there's a good one. Okay, so next up here we have a Lan. What is this thing called? Void Cube. Flipped my mind for a second there. Have never had a standard Lan Void Cube. I had one in white, and I had Rubik's brand Void Cube. As expected, doesn't turn very well. Definitely not a speed void. I wish the Thunder Cube, or whatever the speed Void Cube, would finally get mass produced. Turns okay. Turns good for a Void Cube. It is what it is. That's a Void Cube. Next up here, another 2x2 Mirror Blocks Cube, I believe. I forget who these are by again. But this one is in gold. I like the large size. It turns very, very well. Very cool cube indeed. If I turn it to like, it'll cut, let's see here. Okay, cuts just past line to line. Not quite 45, but feels like it cuts better than it does. Chi Dimension 3x3. This has a very similar design to the Timer Cube that I actually have, that I got from a YouTube video. I saw it in a YouTube video and I bought it. Has very similar tiles to that, but actually turns a lot better than that. That's really interesting. Turns very well. Has interesting kind of integrated tiles and a gray translucent shell. That's a neat cube. Next up here, another Shangzhou gem. I believe I unboxed one of these before. It has a really cool texture to it. And it's interesting kind of how when you turn it 45 degrees, it's black under there. Very interesting texture, very interesting design in general. Turns very well. Must be based on like the Linglong or the Legend type mechanism, because it turns very well. That one actually turns better. The other one I have, you see that cat cube there. Okay, next up here, another 50mm Cuban Classroom Cube. Unbox one of those, turns very well. Must be the newer mechanism, not the MF3, but maybe the MF3S or something similar. Next up here, never had a 6x6. Cyclone Boys 6x6. Wow, this one actually turns very well. I'm impressed by that. Wow. Oop, there you go. Little weird catch thing there. But anyway, 6x6. Cyclone Boys. Actually, this one turns very well. Have some interesting time solving that one there. I just learned how to solve a 4x4 again, all the parity algorithms and stuff. I was always dissuaded by those. Turns out they're not too difficult, and I figured it out. There's a 6x6. That's pretty cool. Up next here, we'll have to figure out exactly what brand this one is here. Cube Twist. What is it? Must just be a normal 3x3. Cube Twist 3x3 with a pink side stickerless. I really tried a variety of 3x3s because I want to try some different mechanisms that aren't often tried. This is a Cube Twist, probably more of a vintage design mechanism. Looks very similar to like a YJ or something. But anyway, it's a stickerless with some different shades and a pink side on it. Next up here, we have a 2x2. It seems to be a YJ Guanpo again. Turns, still has that really weird kind of sluggy feeling there. This one's a little bit better than the other one, but just internal catches and all that, not a big fan of it. Compared to the MF3 or the Cuban Classroom variations. Z Cube, okay. Well, here's a Z Cube. Void Cube. I want to try this one out because it seems similar in design to the Rubik's Void, but obviously it's made by Z. Has a different kind of wire brushed color scheme. Definitely different color scheme in general. Actually very similar top and bottom colors. Yeah. Has gold and silver. That is actually, here we go. See the checkerboard pattern there. Has checkerboard on the top there. You can tell the difference, but they're very similar. It's silver and gold. Those are two top colors. Okay, next up here, I forget who this is made by. Mofang, must be another Chi-Yi puzzle. Actually, the center cap, I'll have to look for that here. That's missing, and another cap popped off there. This is a, forget exactly what it is, but this is a Guanlong mechanism, it seems to be. Or no, something similar to that. I don't know exactly. There seems to be something up with this cube. I think it came scrambled. It's interesting. There you go. Anyway, has these interesting raised bumps on it. It's kind of an oddball cube. I forget the exact name of that one. Made by Chi-Yi. Next up here, we have a 6.8 centimeter sail. This one I'm a little bit more interested in. This one's in white, because that was the one they are in the deal on. Actually, that turns a lot better than the Legend. I'm really into that, actually. Wow. I really like that cube right there. 6.8, still a little bit big. 6.5 would be better, but I think I can get used to that, and I think this will actually be able to get my average on this cube. We'll see. I like the bigger size. It feels weird to start with, for sure, but it's because I'm used to the 56 or 57 millimeter cubes. 55.5 is too small. I was solving with a Weilong GTS2 for a little while there. It's a great cube, but I just could not get used to the size of it. It's way too small. The funny thing is, on the other hand, I really enjoyed the Linglong 46 millimeter, but of course, that's more for recreational solving, not for speed solving. For speed solving, I need a bigger cube, so I really do like that. Another Chi-Yi Warrior W. Unboxed those before. Those are really nice. YJ Guanlong. Seems like original Guanlong, but this one is in translucent plastic. That's actually really cool for the collection. In general, just a translucent plastic there. If you could light the inside of that, that'd be pretty neat. But basically, it's just original Guanlong in translucent plastic. They had a good sale going on those. Picked one up for the collection. Another MF3, so I guess this is a second impression. I've unboxed a lot of these MF3s now. This one feels a lot better than some of them do. They all feel kind of sluggy. This one feels a bit quicker. It really depends on the tensions, I think, because some of those other ones were a lot tighter out of the box. This one's fairly loose. MF3 is an okay cube. It's not a great cube, though. Nexus Cube by YJ. Yongjong King Kong Magic Cube. The craziest names on some of these here. But anyways, this is an Nexus Cube. Also does not have the pointy edges, so that's nice. YJ Nexus Cube. Next up here, and getting to the end of the line, finally, another Warrior W. I ordered a bunch of these. I like the Warrior Ws, so I ordered a good amount of them. I think I ordered 5 of them. So there's the last one of those, I assume. Next up here, this is kind of cool. This is a sculpted Cyclone Boys 2x2. I really want to try that out. See how that one works. It seems to turn very well, just like the normal Cyclone Boys 2x2 does. Chi-Di S by Chi-Yi. This is another one of those with the matte kind of thing. 2x2s. I like the feel of it. Pretty good. And we're coming to the end of our recording here.
This one.
And one more Warrior W. I guess we're not done. There's one more. Let's see what this cube is here. This is a 3x3 mirror cube. But who is advised? Chi-Yi again. I thought I ordered some Yushin mirror cubes, but maybe I didn't. I just ordered the Chi-Yi and a couple other ones there. Thought I had more mirror cubes coming, so hopefully you'll check that. To buy some in the future. Anyway, another Chi-Yi mirror blocks. This one actually turns better than the other ones I was just trying out here. The deal is, even though it doesn't really have the biggest flooring cuts, it actually does corner cut a lot better than the Shangzhou. Turns better than the Shangzhou. I'm definitely not very fast at mirror blocks, so it doesn't really matter. Next up here, Moyu MF3 RS. I have tried this obviously before. I already mentioned how good these are. Cuts 45 fairly easily. Really a nice cube. MF3 RS is highly recommended as a beginner cube, from me at least. Heard there's a couple other ones coming up that may compete with them. Okay, didn't check the brand on this one here, but I can feel this is the other brand of mirror blocks that I was talking about before. It doesn't corner cut as much as you'd think it would, but it actually seems to turn very fast, very quick. So that one's interesting there. Okay, another 6.8 centimeter sail, another one in white. Really going to break these in and try them out. I really do like the 6.8 centimeter thing on this here. It feels like it'll be really nice and fast. I do like the size of that. Mirror cube. Okay, who is this by? Another Chi mirror cube. Is this a stickerless? I believe this is. Actually, a solid green mirror blocks cube. That's pretty cool. Try that. Green plastic mirror blocks by Chi. Also turns fairly well. Another MF3 RS. Already opened those before. This one has stickers on it, so that's nice. Gonna try the stickered variant. Actually, this one is set up horribly. For the other ones, or at least it's not broken at all. Very tight. Something is up with it. Definitely doesn't turn like a normal MF3 RS. Last one. Okay. Well, there we go. We're coming to the end. Finally, it's about time. This is a 3x3 by Shangzhou. Another 7 centimeter Shangzhou Legend. Pretty cool. Let's open this up here. There we go. Shangzhou Legend, 7 centimeter. I actually get a lot more used to it now that I've tried the Chi sail at 6.8. So there you go. Okay, well I really didn't mean for this video to be quite as long as it was, but hope you enjoyed regardless. There is the biggest order I'll probably ever get from Lightake.com. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe below if you enjoyed. Leave any questions or comments in the comments below. Stay tuned. Go watch his channel, even though you don't know what his channel is. No out. Goodbye.